Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't subscribed already, of course, please do hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you. We hope you enjoy the show. Okay, we are at that time of the evening. We have our guest, our special guest in the room. Let me crack the volume up for this. Our special guest in the room, the anti BS Commissioner. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm, this is how I'm doing. I'm just rather frustrated at what I witnessed.
Can you turn the volume up, please? Because I can't hear you as well.
Better?
Yep. We're talking about AJ versus Ruiz, right? The rematch.
I mean, that's all there is to talk about, really. I mean, when you're ready, we can get into it.
Well, it's not when I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm good to go. So,
Cool. So, beforehand we do that, I want to apologize to any listeners because I don't make it a habit to swear, but I feel like this subject merits and warrants a bit of swearing, so apologies in advance.
let me turn the volume up. Make sure we got your volume up to 10. Let me make sure we got a volume up. Yeah, we got a volume up. And make sure you do sound like you're slightly underwater. So if you could speak a little louder.
I mean, I've tried to keep my head underwater since that fight, so.
Oh dear. I feared, because we haven't spoken about this, so I fear the worst. But go ahead anyway.
I mean, Andy Ruiz is, quite frankly, it's appalling what he did because he basically lived up to any stereotype that he may have had, based on his looks, based on what people may have said on his heritage. The geezer basically got rich. He looked like he came from a party straight to Saudi. I was wondering why he was wearing a fur robe, a woolen robe in the sun out there. I'd imagine it's quite hot in the desert. I can only figure that he was possibly trying to lose some pounds whilst walking to the ring, because it's just tragic what he did. Based on what he done, in my opinion, he could possibly go down as possibly the worst heavyweight champion that there's been. In the manner that he won it, great, yeah, but since then, and how he lost it, and the reasons why he lost it, it's shocking that a professional athlete would conduct themselves in that manner. It's completely shocking.
Do you believe that? I mean, I want to interject here. Some of our listeners know that I bumped into a guy who was very high up at the zone. And he sat down and we had a conversation. He talked to me about what was going to happen in the Canelo fight. And he said to me in the Anthony Joshua fight, and people have heard it, he said, Joshua will win the belts back. Trust me. And he said it with such confidence that, he said it with such confidence, it made me, it was almost a dark feeling within me. I felt, well, that don't sound right. He said, he looked to me in the eyes very straight and said, we will get those belts back. So, was it the case that Andy Ruiz was told, bro, you're not winning this fight. You can't win this fight. So, whatever, you're not winning this fight. Joshua has to get the belts back.
I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he may have got paid an extra fee to either not turn up properly, to not train properly, to not fight properly, or to just run a fight, which they all consequently mean the same thing. It's not beyond the realms of possibility because we all know how shady he is. We all know how shady Fast Eddie is. I can totally see that. I can totally get that.
There was a picture that came out, and I did talk about this as well. There's a picture of Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, and his dad, all quite cozy together. It was much like they're shaking their hands between Canelo and Kovalev. Your thoughts?
I'll be honest. In my opinion, I don't. If that is what has happened, I do not believe that Joshua knew of it. If that's the case, simply because when they came face to face, when the referee gave his last instructions, the sheer look of determination and confidence and focus that Joshua appeared to have, I said to my friend, I said Joshua's going to win this straight away. I said, Joshua's going to win this. Not to then take away to then look at Joshua's state and Andy Ruiz's state. You could fully see that. I don't believe there is no way in that Andy Ruiz could have possibly thought that he didn't need to train to afford Joshua. Look, I watched the fight again yesterday, and I watched the first one, but the only thing I watched of the first fight is what they both look like, what their faces look like when they come and the referee gave the last instructions. And Ruiz looked quietly confident in the first fight, but if you actually look and study his face, his facial gestures, he looks like he just knows, well, I'm not going to win this fight. Like this geezer that I'm looking at, he's trained. He's fucking trained. And I ain't. I think his best round was the 8th round.
Mm-hmm.
That's possibly that. I mean, I would say, yeah, that's his best round. The only round that he did anything in. He attempted to do, he was the most active in the last round, which is ironic. He tried to do his
best work at the end of the fight.
Literally, and then tried to even, the fact that he even stood there and said to Joshua, yeah, come and fight. Like, if Joshua had done that, and been successful, I still would have said that was stupid on his behalf just because of how he fought the fight. So to then risk it at the last minute would have missed it, but then, like I said, on Ruiz's behalf, fucking joke, man.
Do you not think...
Piss take to watch these things. I feel like people shouldn't be getting robbed because professional athletes do not want to do it. Professional people do not want to do their job. If you went to a restaurant and the chef just started, fucking cooking the wrong shit or just overcooking it or undercooking it, you'd have a problem with it.
You got to take it out at the right time.
Yeah, I get people have paid their tickets, but there is no uproar, there is no bother. Half the fans got what they wanted, so they don't really care. The other half, they're not that bothered to boycott Andy Ruiz. Period. They're not that bothered. It's not down to the fans ultimately. It's down to these athletes. If you just hear the way Andy Ruiz is just moaning, like a little child, like a little big baby, literally. Moaning, oh yeah, I should have fought. I should have trained hard. I should have trained harder. Mate, the weight that Joshua lost, Ruiz put on. Imagine that. But I think that's insane. I think it's funny that it's been called Joshua Ruiz or Ruiz Joshua 2 because that is what Joshua fought, 2 Andy Ruiz in terms of weight-wise. Because he looked a shadow of his former self, which was only 6 months before.
What I don't get is how you can have more time to prepare and look worse than when you had less time to prepare and do well.
This is something, again, it does not make sense. But this is what I said. I said the reason why it's going to be a sticky one is because Andy Ruiz had 5 weeks before, now he's got 12 weeks. But like I said, the geezer has been partying for 12 weeks, or 11 weeks probably. That's what it looked like. He was partying for 11 weeks.
You know what?
I thought he could just train the last week.
You know what Tyson's former trainer told me only an hour before the fight? Do you know what he said to me?
What's that?
He said, Fat Boy's going to lose. He's been busy partying all the time. He's going to lose.
I mean, you could see that he's been busy partying. He most definitely been partying and eating anything. He was on that seafood diet. He just saw food and ate it.
He said that it was quoted in saying he had a lot on his plate before coming into the fight.
I bet he had a lot on his plate. It's just, the problem is the lot that he had on his plate made it into his stomach. It's the issue. So I don't doubt that he had a lot on his plate. for anyone to see this, to watch this.
Okay. Well, what would you say if people said to you that Joshua put on a masterclass?
I mean, he done very well. To be fair, if you recall, the last time I said the only way that Joshua would win is if he boxed like how Tyson Fury boxed against Klitschko. I was sure of that. That was the only way that Joshua would win. And this is what he done. He done very well, but it's just a shame that his opponent made him look better, so therefore you can't actually gauge how well Joshua did, like in the full.
That's what I've been saying to people as well.
Like last time, then you could gauge it. But because of this debacle, I'm actually raging.
Call 9.
And on top of that, he then, this is like the psycho ex-girlfriend. You know when you've broken up and that psycho ex-girlfriend is trying to force friendships and that. He's trying to stand there by third fight. I don't want to see a fucking third fight, bro. Yeah, we got to have a third fight. Every single sentence he was mentioning after, in the post-fight interview which I watched, and the post-fight interview in the ring, the post-fight press conference, yes, third fight. So he's just hanging on there. What, because the geezer wants to go party?
I mean, people might want to have seen a third fight if Andy had given it his all and he gave Joshua problems. It was a tough fight for Joshua and there was some drama.
The only problem is that his all was at the tackle stand and not in the ring. That's the problem. This is the issue. His all was wafting down copious amounts of food. More than likely getting pissed out off his mouth.
How much is his trainer responsible for this?
With all due respect, there's only so much a trainer can do. You cannot force someone to do, like, you cannot physically make a boxer do the work. Fact. And even if you did, what then? You're not going to get in a ring and do it. So there's only so much that he can do, but at the same time, his trainer's in a dilemma because his trainer's also his father. I don't see. I just think it's a piss take that the geezer's gonna got a big tattoo on his chest and come into the ring and got punched up. I just think it's Ruiz. It's a face. You can't decorate yourself to get beaten. It's just shocking and appalling that still in 2020 that we still have professional athletes doing this.
Well, I've got some comments here. Call 2971 says Ruiz was too busy counting his money. He didn't give a shit about the fight. Didn't even train.
I think I would touch on that. He's too busy eating his money. That's what he was doing. That's all he did. He ate and he drank his money. Literally, and like I said, it's just so sad that someone could be so stereotypical. At least give it another. You know what, Andy? Give it another 6 months. Just train hard for 6 months, and then that's it. You can never train. You don't even have to train again. You'll beat him twice before you're fine. But no, man didn't do this.
Adam says the fact that Ruiz said I'll train hard if there's a third fight should stop Matchroom giving it. A real shame. But money and glory can turn heads.
Yeah, I'm with Adam. I do not feel he merits a first fight. He doesn't merit a payment. You cannot not train and then say, well, I only lost because I never trained. It makes no sense at all.
I personally think him and Usyk should fight. Him and Usyk should fight, and the winner fights Joshua.
Man, I think it's. You see Andy's colours now, so it's pointless. It's pointless, in my opinion.
What would Ruiz have to do?
I would understand if the fight was like in a year's time, like there was a year's gap between the fights. 6 months. He wasn't even there. Literally, just on the head. 6 months. I get cool, party a month if you really must. advised, move on cool if you really must. Never been a world champion before, must be amazing, must be beautiful. Well, hey, yeah, go along with it. And just the worst case is that money stretches far in Mexico. Money stretches a hell of a lot more in Mexico than does in the United States or in England. Cool, go over to Mexico, go party, wherever, live your life in the street. At least train for a bare minimum of half the time. Andy does not look like he trained longer than this is a push to say a week.
But check this guy out. If he didn't train, are you surprised he went 12 rounds so easily without huffing and puffing?
I mean, he was huffing and puffing walking to the ring, but I'm not really sure who said that. He didn't go 12 rounds comfortably. He got beaten up for 12 rounds.
Yeah, but he took all them punches Joshua threw.
I'm sure his brain is going to have an issue with that. Because subsequently, the result of continuously getting knocked, at some point, the brain does just get affected. Whether it's now or in the distant future. His face is not going to be cool. On top of that, his ego is most definitely going to not be happy with that. This is where if somehow he had, and at this point, to be fair, I would have gone with Joshua and said, "Oh, that was a punch from the gods." If he had landed a punch from the gods, because that's all that he could have relied on, he would have been favoured. He would have been lucky. Cool. That never happened. I think he got a bit too boasting before he didn't need God in this one. He went about his business.
Do you think Joshua was there for the taking for the rematch?
I'm not going to say for the taking, but I do feel he was there to go. He could have gone. Again, this is all dependent on the opponent that you have. If you have someone who is in an uphill battle, cool. If you have someone who's just a slug and a sloth,
okay. Well,
Joshua could have literally come in the same as before. I'll tell her, I'm mistaken there because he wouldn't have done all that dancing around, I'll tell you that.
No, he wouldn't. Are you surprised how he was able to... Are you surprised at how he was able to go for 12 rounds with the gas tank, like, super stamina?
I'm not overly surprised based on, one, him having 12 weeks to train, but also from one of the interviews I watched, he said that he was training for near enough after he lost the fight, apparently. So it's not unlikely or unfeasible that he would have had enough stamina. At the end of the day, this is a factor as well. He wasn't on the receiving end of many punches. All those body shots, all those straight rights for the body that Andy Ruiz was hitting him with, he was adapted for. He was prepared for. He wasn't allowed to come through. He literally, I think, hats off to him. He literally took maybe 2 or 3 moments where it got sticky, where he planted his feet.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised that Ruiz was unable to hurt Joshua in the rematch?
No, because Ruiz had hurt himself. So why would I be surprised with that? I would have been more surprised if he did hurt Joshua, to be fair. Because to be fair, I saw the weigh-in, but I'm 96% convinced that he put on weight between the weigh-in and the fight. He didn't look so big. Obviously, he had clothes on, but he didn't look so big.
Mm.
I was literally, I don't know, they say now he put on a stone. He literally looked like double the size. It was a fucking joke.
All right, let's talk about two-time. Let's talk about the king, Anthony Joshua.
I said, hats off to me. This is the funny thing I find funny. He essentially said what his goal was, Andy Ruiz, at the point where Andy Ruiz said, I know he's going to lose weight to try and box me. So knowing what your opponent's going to do, you then basically do the opposite in what you're going to hold you back from what your opponent's trying to do.
Everybody knew what the game plan was.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if any listeners ask their grandma would know what the game plan was. Andy Ruiz knew what the game plan was.
Everybody knew what the game plan was. What are your thoughts of these people who say Joshua was running? Because boxing's about hit and not get hit. That was a masterclass.
Listen,
if Fury had done that, people would have called it a masterclass. Joshua does it, they call it running.
I don't see that because people never said that. From what I recall, people never said that Fury won a masterclass against Klitschko.
Oh, it was all over Sky. What a masterclass from Fury.
I don't recall that being said, but fair enough. But like I said, it's difficult to gauge because his opponent wasn't doing anything.
I try to put this in. I try to say this in the post fight. I said, "Congratulations, Joshua. I boxed really well, but against the opposition was so poor. Was the opposition so poor, or was Joshua that good?"
Against literally a human punching bag, a human heavy bag,
a moving heavy bag.
The gears barely moved. Just follow wherever Joshua went, he went. So it was a heavy bag.
Are you surprised a guy with such experience was unable to close the range down?
I'm very surprised at that. I'm very surprised he wasn't able to close the range down. I'm very surprised that he followed Joshua more than cutting him off. He cut him off a couple of times, but nowhere near as much as he could have or should have. It's just, I think I am. Let me just check my polls. 1 second. I'm still in shock while witness. That's what it is.
Oh, what did you make of the ring size?
It's got four sides. The ring.
It was a big ring, though.
It was, but ultimately, in the state of Andy, it wouldn't have made much difference.
This
is where, because of what he did, because he came out of shape, I can't then factor in those kind of questions or those kind of debates. Oh, would you know what? Yeah, they put a big ring there. The geezer have moved. I reckon if you had a ring that was 3 or 4 meters in length on each side, I think Joshua still would have done the same thing. Like I said, Andy Ruiz followed him around.
So
he never cut him off, or he barely cut him off.
So we slammed Andy Ruiz. Where does this put Joshua now?
I think he's in exactly the same position as to where he was. No better, no worse.
Why?
Well, because he just did what he should have done 6 months earlier. Against someone he was expected to beat.
So challenges with Dillian White, Usyk. I don't think he's not interested in a Wilder fight. What are your thoughts on that?
Personally, if I were I would have, instead of taking the Ruiz rematch, I would have taken a Wilder fight. I would have offered it to Wilder personally, but that's because of my character. I can get, because of his character, why he may not want the Wilder fight. I can totally get that.
There's Kubrat Pulev as well, potentially.
I believe Pulev is mandatory. I believe that's based on the whole palaver with the politics about the belt that they're going to, I think, relinquish the WBO, so Usyk and Chisora for something like that, and he's going to defend against Pulev or whatever. I believe he offered the fight to Dylan prior to the fight. I can't actually recall who it was. I think it may have been
Ruiz.
I can't recall who. Yeah,
no, Jura Miller.
I did think that, but I was thinking, he was he was fine in the US, so he would have fought a US opponent.
Yeah, it was Jura Miller. He was going to fight Jura Miller, and then We all know what happened with Miller. Miller pulled out, got pulled out.
Hold up. Did he offer the fight to White
Before
after
that,
the Miller?
yeah, before the Miller fight.
What, to fight in England or to fight in America?
To fight in England.
All right.
And White said no.
I'm not really sure.
So they say.
Why he would have done that.
I know. I know why. Because if for example, contractually, if he had beaten Joshua, then Match would have control of him. And he didn't want that. So he probably wanted a deal where if he beats Joshua, he can do what he wants with the belts and not controlled by Matchroom. Hence why he's got a freelance contract and not signed to Matchroom. Which would make sense.
I mean,
because you know them when you get into them contracts, you just can't walk away with the belts just like that. Since David Haye, when David Haye won the title, he just walked off and did his own thing. They don't want that, so there's no way Matchroom's going to want a live wire like Dillian White picking up the belts and walking off with the belts and doing their own thing. No, they can't have that. So before that happens, they say, like, you fight us, and if you fight us, you beat our boy, you're contracted. All your fights are promoted, and all your fights are contracted with Matchroom, and therefore that means that we tell you when to fight. And White would be like, what? I'm gonna beat him, and then you're gonna tell me what to do in my life? No, get out of here. That's how them contracts work.
I totally get why he started the case and why he would have said no, but at the same time, whilst I may get that, at the same time I do think, well, so what? You're a boxer.
Yeah, but it's not. But it's not as simple as that, because you're told when to box.
There's two things. There's that. So what? You're gonna be boxing anyway.
Yeah, but you're fighting for freedom. You ain't fighting for slavery. That's the slave contract right there.
I mean, I kind of give up. Like I said, you're a boxer anyway.
Yeah, don't make a difference. So
but hold on. My other point was, if the route that he was going down paid dividends, then I would have said, yeah, but I believe he was going down the WBC route, and they basically frozen him out. Which it wouldn't at all surprise me if, because Eddie Hearn and Fast Eddie and Uncle Al are quite close, quite buddy. It wouldn't surprise me at all if a whisper was thrown one way, and this is the reason why the WBC are frozen him out.
Well, on the subject of Dillian White, we'll touch on that now, because when Dillian White was originally allegedly, people were up on my channel saying he's a cheat, and I'm like, okay, all right. I said, as far as I'm concerned, I think this boy's been stitched up. I think he's stitched up because of the whole situation when he opened his mouth and started talking about Joshua and drugs and the cycling. He said he's best cycler in Dubai and all that stuff. And then Jura Miller said the same thing, and both of those guys subsequently got something wrong, had some drug issues for opening their mouth about the Golden Boy. And I said, you know what? Somebody just doesn't like Dillian White. And Dillian White's opened his mouth a bit too wide, and he's upset somebody in boxing, and hence why he's in the situation he's now. I never thought he did that. I guess that somebody had to show him just what happens when you mess around with the wrong people. That's what I think. So he understood how political boxing can really be. That's a guess. That's my theory. It could be all, as Boris Johnson would say, triangle, Bermuda trial of theories, but there you go.
I'm totally aware of how corrupt and how seedy the sport boxing is. It really is nowhere near as clean cut as it's made out to be. However, on the subject of Dillian, with this whole issue,
yes,
this is in between many years ago and today. Now, when he was, knocking people out, dropping them, I was thinking, okay, bloody good. Like, he's learning stuff. He's learning new things, because now you're starting to see like an active change in terms of him being with, was it Mark Tibbs?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, okay, cool, he's learning something new. Never crossed my mind, so okay, I was just looking at it as a positive thing, as a good thing to see. Then this whole steroid allegation came out, Now, one, I got the first time he got banned, I got that was over the counter thing.
Yeah.
Fine. But like I always say, one, there's no smoke without fire, and two, he's over the age of 21. So he's old enough to know better. Now, one thing I can tell you is that I've seen Dylan spar several times. Ironically, one of the people I've seen him spar against is Derek Chisora. And I can tell you now that Dylan has never had one-shot power, one punch stop the power. I've never witnessed that myself. I'm all for him learning new things and fighters learning new skills and new ways of punching. But the fact that coincided with him having traces in his system, which, again, the traces, how I understood from the boxing channels that I've watched and kind of understood everything as it unfolded, he did have traces of something in his system. Like that's what was being looked past. The fact he had traces of something in his system. What, I don't know, I can't tell you, I'm not chemist. Like, the fact that something was there, the fact that this whole issue has been brought up.
Interesting view.
The fact that I feel, and this has got nothing to do with him personally, my mindset is anyone who tends to always go forward or push for, protein supplements and shakes and drinks and this and that, it's just a mindset. So if you're willing to start buying products from a shop because they can enhance you, at some point it's very feasible that when there's millions of pounds involved, that you may be swayed because your mind is already that way inclined. That's just my opinion. Like I said, this whole drug debacle has coincided with him dropping Joseph Parker twice, man's never been dropped, and knocking, Lucas Brown clean out, and knocking Chisora out with one shot. Like I said to you, I've witnessed him spar several times. I've never ever seen him stop anyone or drop anyone or anything resembling those kind of results. So it is very suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really care too much about it. That's just my opinion. That's it. At the end of the day, the guy's allowed to box, so watch him box, judge him on his boxing. Or we can either do that, or we can just presume that everyone's on drugs.
Well, a huge majority of them are on it. It's one heavyweight tournament.
I mean, this is something that's been reported by not just boxers, but several highly paid athletes and top athletes that said everyone at the top of their field in professional sport is on drugs. I wouldn't like to believe it, but like I said, it's all down to the individual's mindset. If your mindset is open to that, if your mindset is acceptable to that, if your mindset is very weak, then you're going to be doing that.
Okay. Very interesting points. Very, very interesting. Adam asked the question, do you think Hearn, DAZN, have the scope to have a heavyweight tournament? AJ, Usyk, White, Chisora, Parker, Sasha, and Hunter.
I mean, first of all, he's only listed 7 names. So it's going to be a dodgy tournament. I'll tell you that. That's one of them, the king against the fight.
But you got Herkovic, maybe, and Herkovic. We'll add as well. Throw Herkovic in there.
Out of curiosity, how did Tom Little do?
I don't know.
I wanted to win before Ski's has been around for quite a while. He's hustled his way into a position. From what I understood, if he had won, he would have fought Joshua, something like that. I don't know. But, you don't know, I don't know.
I don't know. I unfortunately get to see it.
I mean, it sounds like something that they could do. The zone isn't over here, is that correct?
What's that?
It's the zone in the UK.
I think DAZN's an American company, but I have seen DAZN.
I don't think you're not able, are you able to subscribe in the UK?
I don't think so. We've got Sky Sports, haven't we?
Yeah, so...
Remember we went for our travels one day, and when we were going past in this certain location, that we saw the DAZN cap on. Did you see it? No, you weren't with me. I was with somebody. I was walking down. I was walking down in Brighton, and somebody had a DAZN cap on. Oh boy. No, no, no. They had a DAZN cap on.
Too much from it.
Oh boy.
People, I've never seen anyone with Sky Sports app personally.
No, and I was on the train, and the guy had a DAZN cap on and a DAZN sort of like shirt. I was like, oh no.
Oh, I mean, cool, but from my understanding, they're not over here in the UK.
It says somebody says DAZN is in the UK, but you can't subscribe to the sucker. Yeah, of course. Because if you subscribe to DAZN, you put Sky Sports out of business.
And you know, Eddie doesn't want that.
Well,
Eddie almost went out of business. And Eddie almost went out of business in June.
Yeah, he almost did. But now, hey, you're the king. You're the champ. You're the king. They doubted you, but now you're the king. Two-time.
I heard of this. I've not seen it for myself. I hope not to be fair, because I think it's funny. It just shows people's characters. Because Pry, again, it shows you the person's ego, the person's mindset. Because Pry, he was talking about war, it might be Ruiz, everyone needs to bow to my feet, and this and that. That's how he was talking. Now he's letting that go. That's all it is. It's all a form of manipulation. Like I said, Anthony Joshua is I feel his marketing is taking off politics.
Listen to this.
I feel that they watch Boris Johnson, they watch Jeremy Corbyn, and they say, you know what, we can sell Anthony like this. and people eat up.
The greatest thing I saw recently.
It's either Boris Corbyn or Jeremy Johnson.
Jeremy Johnson.
Jeremy Johnson, Joshua.
Listen to this. Joshua, a few years back, made a statement. He says, after looking at Fury win the title against Klitschko, he said, I don't respect that. I don't respect that, you know. We're warriors. We need to go to war. Fury ran around the ring, basically. He didn't take the title. He didn't take the title with any sort of, I can't respect what Fury did. Now...
These are the words that he said,
yeah? Yeah, I can't respect what Fury did.
Alright.
After he was asked his opinion on the Klitschko-Fury fight, and Fury just won the title. And now he's come back. He's done exactly what Fury did.
I do think it's insane to think that was 4 years ago, man. Crazy how time flies.
I know.
But like the saying goes, when you're pretending to be two people, one of them is down to trip the other up. And that's the case what you have with Anthony Joshua. So that he can go out and say, I don't respect that. So in essence, he doesn't respect what he did. In theory, that's what it was.
What I think happened, he said he didn't respect it at the time because he thought he was Mr. Invincible. If he could blast everyone away.
Hold on. Bear in mind that Fury stood toe to toe with Klitschko a hell of a lot more than he stood toe to toe with Andy Ruiz.
That's true.
So if anything, he done more running than Fury. Now, it's a difference if he didn't turn around and say, oh, you know what? That was the only way that I could win the fight, because if he owned up, like I said, if you just own your shit as a man, as an individual, as a female, whoever, as long as you own it, no one can say anything to you about it. But because he tries to kind of duck and dive and slide around, that's why if he then said, oh, you know what, I did fight like that, that's because that's the only way I would have won, because he was a dangerous guy. Cool.
He says,
I'll be fine.
Sometimes
that's fair enough. At least you can admit it.
Sometimes
the fact that he a few years ago he has said those words that he just repeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's then done in essence a worse art, which that was an old that used to be a word in Old English.
What's up?
Worse, yeah. He's then done a worse performance, a worse job than what he said that he doesn't respect. So in essence, he won't respect himself when he looks in the mirror. His ego will respect what he tells his ego. That's all it is.
Okay. Somebody says to
Sorry,
me,
and I'll repeat that saying again because a lot of listeners, people in general around the world, too, just a lot. A lot of people pretend to be who they are not, or pretend to be someone else. So saying is, when you pretend to be two people, one of them will inevitably trip the other up. That's a fact.
well, there's
No
this.
hiding from the truth.
Anthony Joshua, who comes in, is basically a guy that comes in on the channel. He just leaves a comment. He says, "Yeah, 2 times, still eating humble pie." He's saying, "So I'm eating humble pie because of what?"
He ain't humble pie because of the truth first, not because of some level.
Yeah, it's like the thing. What people think is, "Oh, you got it wrong. You got the prediction wrong." Andy Ruiz, I'm looking at Andy Ruiz coming in.
No, sorry. Your prediction was based on Andy Ruiz conducting himself like a professional athlete in training.
That's it.
Or am I incorrect?
That's correct. I didn't expect him to come in the way he did. I thought he was going to be different to Buster Douglas.
But because, yeah, you see, the thing is, obviously, this is hypothetical, but if you gave an itinerary of what fighters have done in between their fights, the money would be surely bet on the winner. Guarantee that.
Of course. You
And
know.
this is without even looking into what they're doing in the times that they're supposed to be in training camp. Forget that. What are they doing in between fights? Because one thing you cannot take away from Anthony Joshua, he's a consummate professional.
You can't knock that. The thing is,
You cannot take that away from him.
the thing is,
I stand up and applaud that.
if the sport wasn't corrupt and it was just two guys merely getting in the ring and fighting, no hanky panky, no shaking hands under the table, no, if we win, we can set up a third fight, make more money off of it. There's more money to make. It's another pay per view. The rubber match, like Holyfield Bowl.
Ain't no money to be made off the rubber match. I'll tell you that now. Ain't no money to be made there. I cannot foresee how they would sell that. Unless Andy Ruiz got into moderately ridiculous shape.
What, you mean like the Photoshop videos, pictures?
Yeah.
Ben says, at heavy, it's surely better to be one time for a while and never lose it than keep getting KO'd and regaining it, says Ben.
I mean the theory that seems quite solid. Yeah? Like, I'm not saying he never done a good job regaining it. But I'm saying if you have to choose, you would rather do your best at maintaining it once you have it. Because I don't believe there's many, or if actually, tell a lie, the only one who did do it is Rocky Marciano, R.I.P. But there's not many, other than himself, there's not many heavyweights who won it and held it until they retired. Until they passed away. And if off the top of my head, if I recall, there's none have done so.
Guys,
I also do believe that losses do make you and build you, one as a man, and two just as your character alone. You have to experience losses, ups and downs. But it's very easy to what Joshua's mistake was, what then caused him to lose, is very easy to overcome and to hurdle. In my opinion.
Ben says it's like being called for a bad prediction with Holyfield Bowl because you didn't anticipate the fan man. The thing is, I've never quite. Ron.
Will you repeat that one more time?
Says it's like being called out for a bad prediction with Holyfield Bowl because you didn't anticipate the fan man.
I mean, there's nothing like that at all, but alright.
What?
That's the definition of APC, bro.
Why'd you say that?
Bullshit is that. What fan man got to do with anything?
The bad prediction. Because people are calling it a bad prediction I made, but I was not to predict how Andy Ruiz was going to come in the ring.
No. You're predicting on a fighter being a professional and training. That's his job, by the way. In case people forgot. His job is to train him to get into as best of condition as that he can for a fight. To
See,
do what he takes.
I would like to have seen the Andy Ruiz that I was expecting in the ring against Anthony Joshua. The Andy Ruiz that came out first round,
We all would have liked to have seen that.
came out first round and jumped on Joshua.
This is the problem, Gorilla. You're not the only one. You're speaking for the nation.
Because if you had jumped on him,
even the Joshua fans, even a lot of Joshua fans, I've heard them like, yeah, I'm happy, but it's just boring. I'm happy to see that. Like the kid, he never fought anyone. I've heard people say that. So it's like even there'll be a lot of Joshua fans that'll be like, yeah, we wanted Andy Ruiz to be in the best shape. We're happy that he won. That's the main thing.
yeah, of course.
But it's like it's a farce. It's a farce. This is a feat. Yeah, Andy Ruiz managed to come into the ring in worse shape than Bobby.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh shit. Because Bobby had them hands, so he always kept himself at that weight. I think towards the end, yeah, then he fell up a cool. That's the end of your career.
How do you think Butterbean would have done that night? Move Andy Ruiz. How do you think Butterbean would have done that night?
And Bobby would have been on his 10 toes, brother. He would have been on his 10 toes with Joshua. I doubt he would have given him problems, man.
He would have let them hands go.
He would have let them go, man. He would have cut the distance off. He would have cut Joshua off and he would have let them go. I genuinely believe that Ruiz landed less than 100 punches.
Can I get a 2-time?
I'll say that again. I genuinely believe that Andy Ruiz landed less than 100 punches.
Can I get a 2-time for that?
It will be a third time now. For saying it's the cheese. That's the only thing I don't like. It's the cheese. So things aren't changing. And this stuck in my head. What do you say? Something like the first time felt so nice. I just had to do it twice. No, you have to do it twice because you lost the first time. It wasn't a choice of yours. Well, then again, unless you're on the screw and that's what he's saying, what did you do on purpose?
Well, that's what people are saying now. He lost on purpose.
Listen, the way he lost, that don't happen on purpose. That was straight.
You got beat up. That's it.
That's no spur of the moment. That's what spur of the moment.
But people said that.
That's what you call improv. That's what it is. That's straight improv.
Well,
any rap fans out there into freestyling, that's what Andy Ruiz did on June 1st.
Yeah, people are not convinced. But then there's other people who take it way out of the thing. You know, Ali couldn't have boxed better than that night. That's what some people come out and saying. They're putting Ali and Joshua back up there again.
Yeah, those ones we just dismissed. We don't even talk about what they said. I believe that it's more feasible and much more plausible that Ruiz was paid or through the second fight than Joshua did for the first fight. He categorically didn't. But in terms of the two stories being true, if one of them had to be true, I believe that the second one would have been true. Because that's what it almost seemed like. It almost felt like you had someone who never came to fight.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it kind of reminded me of Kovalev when he fought Canelo.
He looked like he comes straight from a race.
Straight from a race.
He looked like he got forced to leave the race to get on the plane to fly to France. Like he done that all in the same day. Like he's literally. It's abysmal to have to witness that.
Well, Wilder wasn't too impressed.
I mean, I don't think no one was impressed. Okay, sorry. I want to rephrase that. No one who knows boxing was impressed. But this is not more so on Joshua's behalf. Again, it's on Ruiz's behalf. Boxers won't be impressed by that fight they'll rate what Joshua did because he stuck to his game plan and followed it through to a T. Hats off. But just generally as a boxer, watching the box, just generally as a boxer, watching a fight, anyone who's boxing or who's a boxer or has any experience in boxing, as a boxer, they would not. I don't believe that they would be impressed with that fight because I wouldn't.
You think we're looking at the Klitschko era here with Joshua?
Pardon?
Do you think we're looking at a Klitschko era here with Joshua?
I think that's difficult to say because of one of the Wilder fight. Like I've always been of the opinion that I feel that whichever one of them two hit first will win. But Joshua got that plan because one, his boxing skills are better. Two, he's got faster feet. And three, he actually tends to move his head.
Who's that?
And punch correctly, Joshua. You have to factor in Dylan. I mean, I can't even rat it here. Andy Reid's gone down the drain.
Somebody
said. I thought that the Witherspoon fight, I thought that Usyk held back. That's what I believe.
Okay. People said now because of what Joshua did there, he that box Wilder because of what he did against Ruiz. Wilder would not let him get off. Wilder would come after him. Would not let him set.
Wilder wouldn't have to necessarily move his feet to hit him if that's what Joshua's doing. Ruiz has to move his feet. I mean, you can't compare the two.
Ben says.
Comparing the Eiffel Tower and Big Ben.
Ben says Butterbean versus Ruiz and a reinforced ring.
I'm down for that. I reckon my money's on Butterbean, mate. My money's on Butterbean. Because the teams are coming to fight. Ruiz came to party. It's like in his head, he's like, oh, you know what, no matter what, I'll still go to the after party. That's all he had in his head. I may lose, but I'll go to the after party. He was just happy the fact that he was historically the first Mexican heavyweight champion. He just
ruined that.
It's just a shame because I was happy that he won. For that was the only reason alone that I was happy to see him having done that.
Yeah.
The only reason I personally wanted what's his name, Ortiz to be Wilder.
To be the first Cuban.
Because I thought, he would have made history and it would have been amazing. And I believe that he and Ruiz would have fought each other instead. I believe.
Hold on. I think we've got Andy Ruiz on the phone. Hold on. Here's Andy. You know, I gave my best shot. You know, I had a lot on my plate. You know.
Andy, man, but you ain't got to keep boasting that you ain't. We saw this. Stop, man. Stop my mind. Why you still talking about plate? You still talking about food, brother.
You know.
I don't know right now.
I should have trained harder, man. You know. But you know.
Do you know? I know. Do you know, Andy?
I want a third fight, man. I want a third fight,
I know you want a third fight, Andy. You're not going to get a third fight, Andy. No one wants a third fight.
I'll train better, man. I'll let a lot of people down, man. You know, damn. Hats off to Joshua, man.
Andy. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. I'm not even trying to. I'm not stupid. I'm anti-BS. I ain't falling for your BS. I'm anti-BS, bro.
Man.
I'm gonna fall for your shit, son. Nah, man, you know what you did. Fuck you.
Man, we all make mistakes, man. We all make mistakes. I got it wrong.
How about you fuck yourself then? How about you do that? And when you finish doing that, fuck yourself again, you bastard.
Man, forgive me, man. I want a rematch, man. I want to put it right, man.
I will only forgive you if you fuck yourself. That's the only way I'll... Even fuck yourself becoming a cruiser. The only two ways I'll forgive you. I will need it on Pornhub, though. I want to see that shit on Pornhub. I want to see you fucking yourself on Pornhub. Or I want you coming in as a cruiser.
Look, man. AJ,
Nah.
Joshua boxed well, man. You gotta give him credit. He boxed well. You know.
Yeah, I do give him credit. I just don't give you any credit, bro. You got top marks in the first fight. Why? Because this is what I expected. You got them hands. You know how to use them. It's literally like all your years of schooling, any training that you had to, that just went out the window. And I'm so disappointed that fuck you.
Man, I apologize to my trainer. You know, Manny, I apologize to you, Dad. I apologize, Mum. I apologize to you, the Mexican fans. You know, I got it wrong, but your boy be back. You know.
No, we don't want you back, man.
We don't want you back.
Fat, man. Go away. And now
Man.
you're stuck. You're supposed to be a professional athlete.
I'm an example. I'm an example, man.
You have 4 hits, Andy. That's unacceptable.
That's
unacceptable. You have 4 hits on your back.
Don't.
You didn't even have them on your side. You had hits on your back.
Don't doubt me, man. Listen, I come back stronger, man.
I definitely doubt you. I know you won't come back hungry. I know that. How about that? I know you won't be coming back hungry.
Oh, shit.
Because you eat good. You be eating good. You look like you ate fucking what? The whole of Mexico ate in that time. Piss take, man.
Live cam.
Just as a boxing fan, I was just fucked up and annoyed. Just as a boxing fan, to think that this guy got paid how many million?
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough.
It's enough to know better. It's enough to do better. That's my point. I don't want to know his paycheck. That's none of my business. Well done to him.
Can I get a 2-time? Can I get a 2-time?
Andy definitely got a lot of 2 wings, tell you that. 2 pieces. A lot of 2 pieces.
Oh my god. You're not happy.
That's a look. Josh is like, can I get a 2-time? Andy's like, can I get a 2-piece? Fuck, man. This is the state of boxing, man.
2 to go, man. 2 to go. 2 to go.
2 to go. I want 2 to go and 2 to stay. 2 to eat in, 2 to go. Yeah. Oh, sorry, and 2 for the road as well.
Road.
Oh, man.
He's probably lost his endorsement to Snickers as well.
Imagine, if anything, Snickers and mouthwash should endorse it. I'm Bounty and Gary, all of them. All the chocolates you just endorse Andy Ruiz.
It's not good. It's not good. Oh, some comments here. We've got a comment here that says the fight had more to do with Ruiz not measuring up than AJ leveling up. Then next comment
This
is
is the problem.
okay. Then Live Corn says people can't bear to give AJ credit. LOL.
Hold on. Is he listening to this show? Because I may be incorrect here.
No, I know.
Sure.
These people want you to praise people to the point where you worship them, and they're very selective in hearing.
What they do, that's their choice. And all for you. If this is what you wish to do, fine. I give him his props. Well done. Now on to the next.
People angry with Ruiz because he couldn't stop the AJ train from getting back on track.
I mean, again, that's up for debate. And this is the most upsetting and frustrating thing about that. Like I said, as a boxing fan, sitting at home watching boxing and enjoying what I'm seeing. One, how I like to enjoy what I'm watching, and 2, you can't measure Joshua in the right way and the correct and the adapt way because of Andy Ruiz's lack of. So yes, Joshua done a great job based on what he had in front of him. But we didn't see the full extent of, if anything, even what Joshua was training for. But that's why he probably had all that stamina.
Yeah, yeah,
Because he thought he was going to have to use double it
yeah.
in reality. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's almost as if take away from what he's accomplished or what he's achieved because like, you can't measure it correctly.
You can't.
How good did he actually do? How well did he actually do? Like I said from the get, I said, look, at the end of the day, he should have just kept on boxing him in the first fight.
Yeah, right. Ben asked the question: how do you secure? Howdy Ingram, how to secure an interview with Ruiz? Well, actually, believe it or not, Ruiz is part of the round for round game, and I was trying to get an interview with Ruiz before he was when he was Abel Sanchez. He stopped boxing, so through my contacts, I'm going to try and see if I can get an interview with Andy Ruiz. We're still going to try and work on that for you guys at BWTM. Okay, they don't care about Ruiz. They only care about the fact that he couldn't stop AJ.
Huh? Who's you referring to?
Don't know who they are.
Ignore him. I'll go next.
Joshua will never be.
Sorry. People, please, when you're sending in your comments or your messages, at least make them make sense or be clear. That's very much appreciated.
Joshua will never be anything until he fights Wilder and Fury, which he will lose. Just a cash cow.
I mean, I don't feel that you can say that because the geezer's accomplished a lot. In terms of resume-wise, other than Klitschko, Fury hasn't got a better resume than Anthony Joshua. And Wilder has not got a better resume at all. And he's almost had double the amount
Well,
of
hold
fights
on. But Wilder fought Ortiz twice.
I mean, this is very true.
And Ortiz and Fury didn't want any bit of Ortiz.
Ortiz, yeah, they all ducked Ortiz.
And Joshua didn't want any bit.
How old is he? 63 again?
Well, he could say he's 63, but nobody lined up to fight him. If he was so old, why didn't they fight him?
I mean, because the kids don't even speak English. I swear Eddie Hearn did not sign him at one point.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn signed him. What did he do? He sidelined him, got him fighting Malik Scott and bloody Dave Allen. That's what.
Whatever, man.
That's what Fast Eddie did with him. Anyway.
Whatever, man. Eddie had him there to make him wear out, and basically he left Eddie just as he was aging. The aging process really had a grip on him. I feel, from what I witnessed at the Wilder fight, he threw it as well, personally.
Yep.
That's how I feel.
When will your friend again, Live Corner asks, when will Wilder become something? Because up to this point, his best win is against an ancient Cuban with high blood pressure.
This is the problem. Up until I think Wilder had his first 30 fights were literally against corpses. Which I get that. He blew up his confidence, he blew up his experience. But this is the whole point that what you were saying earlier about the whole taking away the bravado, the whole smoke screens.
Yeah.
If boxing was a fair game, everyone's experience would be on show. Everyone would have the same amount of experience. This is as a professional as well as an amateur.
But a lot of these guys in the room couldn't manage their way to a toilet, let alone manage a fighter. Wilder is one of the best managed fighters in world boxing. One of the best managed.
You have to take your hat off to how they manage him because they've done a tremendous job.
I think so. And if they treated David Price the same way, David Price may have gone the same way as well.
Oh, where they managed David Price?
If they managed David Price the way they managed Deontay Wilder, David Price would be a different fighter.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of these guys don't know. A lot of these guys don't know boxing because they don't understand. Yeah, go on.
I will tell you this: that should the same thing happen, or when the same thing happens to Deontay Wilder and David Price, i.e., getting knocked out or getting severely hurt, I guarantee you that the mentality will be very similar in terms of how their characters start shrinking if they start losing. Or if he starts losing.
It'll be interesting to see how. Yeah, you're right.
His character is based on the fact that he wins. But okay, Joshua, you've seen him lose once. You've seen him
He goes,
handle a loss relatively well.
wait,
Compared to
wait,
the difference in
now,
the first fight and the second fight.
now we got a real rubbish shit talk in the room. He goes, that's why Wilder is a global superstar. Oh wait, so he's basically saying Joshua's a global superstar. How can you be a global superstar? You stepped over to America and got your ass whooped in America. You can't be a global if you go to America and get your ass whooped.
Joshua, neither of them are global superstars. But neither of them are global superstars. However, if one of them had to be, I would say I'll put my money more on Joshua being one than Wilder.
The marketability, yeah, because Joshua, the only reason why Joshua's got more marketability is because of Wilder being more of a conscious man. You understand?
I mean, Wilder is.
And because of that, he's punished for it. He's not politically correct.
When you say conscious, what do you mean?
What I mean by this is because Wilder's less politically correct. He's going to tell you how he feels, whether you like it or not. Whereas Joshua will be more.
I don't feel like that.
You don't feel like that?
I don't feel that's the case. I just think that I don't feel necessarily Wilder isn't. I feel he is politically correct, especially because he is told what to do and he listens to what to do.
You think so?
Which I get. I believe so. That's what I believe. Also, it's a huge thing is the fact that Wilder's ignorant and slightly slow. There's a couple other boxers who are like that, but Wilder's the champion. You have to focus on him. He uses words that are not even made, that are literally made up.
He makes his own words up.
He talks to a degree like a slave. It's sad to have to say these things, but that's how he talks. He talks so ignorant, so uneducated. Crass. Even if you see how he dresses, he's very crass in how he dresses. Joshua's not. Joshua's well spoken, he smiles, he's a good looking, or relatively good looking lad. It's actually quite funny because if you actually look at it, Wilder kind of looks like Elmo a little bit. If you get a picture, please, Ingram, just Google up Elmo. I'll swear to you, he looks like, it's weird because obviously Wilder's got a bit more of a square head, but like his face is kind of like Elmo. It's frighteningly weird.
Well, this is Shug says, well, we are more likely to see Manny Pacquiao versus Anthony Joshua than the top tier heavyweights unification 2030.
That's a 2030, oh no, that's the next 11 years. Wow. Like I said, at the end of the day, if they wanted to be number one, they could be number one. Ego would have to get put to the side, and even maybe some girls have to get put to the side. But this is what I say. There's one person who Anthony Joshua portrays to be, and who he talks to be, and there's another person who he acts like and what he does like. Because he says about the girls don't make the man makes the girls. Well, if that's the case, then Joshua is going to fight Wilder.
Interesting. Good evening, John. A well-respected trainer is in the house, professional boxing trainer. Shout out to John.
Good evening, John.
John has worked with the likes of Shannon Briggs, Jimmy McCline, and many others, and Maurice Harris as well. So shout out to him. Wilder is the best fighter in the heavyweight division. Tyson and AJ both will not fight him. So don't listen to promoter hype. I doubt either of those fights will happen again.
Oh, sorry. It doesn't make sense because I'm very sure, maybe incorrect it, I'm very sure that Fury signed up to fight him, no?
For the rematch, he goes, if Fury fights Wilder again, he gets knocked out.
But is he not signed up to fight him again?
Well, it's rumoured the fight's meant to be in February, but we have to wait and see that fight's actually going to happen.
That's not been actually announced.
February 22nd is the date.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it's different than having a date and people talking about it. Has it been announced that they will be fighting on February 22nd?
They haven't done a press conference for it yet, so I guess
has it been announced?
Has it been announced? Well, we know about it, so I guess it has been announced. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Got this amazing gadget called an iPhone.
You got a box racket.
Yeah.
Good evening, Denise. John, I hope you're well. We'll catch up with you. I guess after I've got this second show done, I'll get Wilder will KO Fury this time, and Fury knows it.
I don't see why everyone seems so confident about that.
You're not confident about it.
I said I don't see why everyone seems so confident about that because it doesn't appear like he's counting factually. Fury done a very good job considering.
His last two opponents have been great, and if you're getting rocked by, what's the guy, Otto Walling, and getting cut and getting caught by Otto Walling, don't think Fury gets any better.
Yeah, but he's already fought Wilder, and he's already been hit by Wilder, and he's gotten up from Wilder's shot. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, it's on boxing. It's on the 22nd of February. So they are fighting.
Guys here, I've lived through Tyson undisputed, Tyson undisputed, Holyfield 4-time undisputed, and Lennox Lewis 2-time undisputed. I don't think I'll see another undisputed in my lifetime unless Ingram comes back. Unless Ingram comes back.
Unless you say you're heavyweight, yeah?
I was a heavyweight, man. Looks how I was undisputed. Well, you sure it's not Ingram? It's someone else.
But it's looking like that no meat and no fish have been doing you well, man.
It must be either Klitschko, but I think he might have meant Klitschko or
Ingram Klitschko.
I think it might just be an error, typing error, but I get what he's trying to say.
No, but yeah, it's like my opinion is, know the ins and outs, but my opinion is that a lot of ego needs to be put to the side, and ultimately, if you're the best, you don't need a belt to say that you're the best.
So, what have you found out?
What have I found out?
Yeah, about the fight.
It's happening.
Is it happening, or is it to be confirmed?
No, it's on box rec. It says on the 22nd of February.
And where is it?
They're fighting. Doesn't actually say. But, okay, I'll go to Deontay Wilder just in case for some time. Yeah, it says scheduled bouts subject to change in commission approval.
Announced or for some excuse will arise from Fury camp to pull out of scheduled cut over eye.
Say that one more time.
Guys, Otto Walling could be better than people assume, I suppose. We'll have to see how he comes back after the Fury loss. Good point there. He goes, no, I mean you, Ingram. You have a better chance.
Hold on. People cannot take away. I do get that. I've not heard of this also, but the geezer's 20-0. Tom Shaw's guy's 24-0. So for Fury. So they're able to do something. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's do one better. Let's just go on to their record and see how they have reached this record. What's our woman? I mean, yeah, it's understandable why people have reached this. Why people have reached this conclusion.
Why?
I mean, because I've looked on both of their records, and I've been unable to recognize one singular name.
That's my point.
Well, man, people can make their speculation.
Here you go here.
Fury done well in the first fight. From what I saw and from what I've understood, the people's opinion, he should have won the first fight. And it's very feasible that the reason the other one because WBC allowed Deontay Wilder to do as and when he pleases with the belt. So it's going to go back onto boxer. So, do you recall Deontay Wilder's defeat? Sorry, not defeat, defenses.
He's had 10. Yep.
Yeah, I know, but do you recall who they were against?
Yes, I do. Ortiz, twice. Fury. Molina. Ariola. Stavern, twice. Brazil. What's the guy? Gerald Washington. Molina. 10.
And this is what people have to do. Yeah? They need to look at that and see whether they will put any of those names in the top 10 of boxing, period.
There's your top. There's your 10 defense. I call that. I call the 10 defenses out there. There you go. I didn't have to scratch around and think. I knew who the 10 guys were.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah, because you missed out Johan Duopa. You missed out Arthur Spilker.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, but I get your point. But what my issues on this is of those people. So let's do this. This is the list.
Okay. Then
Dominic Brazil, Tyson Fury, Mace Stavern, Joe Washington, Chris Ariola, Arthur Spilker, Johan Duopa, Eric Molina.
Okay.
Yeah? Of those names, which one of them would you put in the top 15 of boxing, of heavyweight boxing? Tyson Fury.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When Stavern beat Ariola, at the time he was considered one of the best heavyweights. Not now. When he beat Ariola, he was considered one of the best heavyweights in the world. And he was actually, a lot of people thought he'd beat Wilder before the fight.
What? They thought Ariola. They thought Ariola would beat Wilder.
They thought Ariola would beat Stavern based on what Ariola did against Klitschko.
Yeah, hold on.
So Ariola was favourite to beat Stavern for that fight.
Stavern fought him 5.5 years ago, though.
Yeah, you're talking about. I'm talking about. You've got to date these guys for based on when they were.
They fought him twice actually.
Yeah.
They fought him 5.5 years ago, 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, so you see, if you're gonna talk about these guys, you've got to take timelines with these guys. You can't take a guy who's 42 something and then. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I'm sorry. In 2016, you wouldn't have put Chris Ariola in the top 10 or 15 of the world, in my opinion.
Ariola was one of the top heavyweights in the world. He was.
He was. When did he stop being one of them?
After he got beat, probably by Stavern.
Oh, there you go then.
But Stavern at the time, the way he beat Ariola the second time, people were saying, because even Klitschko didn't knock Ariola out, they were saying, okay, this guy's one of the best heavyweights in the world at the time. So, okay. But the other thing is, if you're going to do that, look at Fury's record. Look at Wilder's record. Look at Joshua's record. How many guys did Joshua fight that was under 40? Or, under 40. How many guys did he fight that was under 40?
I need to go and see this 1 second.
Look at Joshua's record. Who he thought was under 40? Name me.
What,
Apart from White.
In terms of age.
Yes. Go ahead. Fire him out. So let's talk about the Klitschko fight first.
Wow, look, I'll tell you what's crazy. That's some shit. The 40. What is it, since he won the fight, yeah? Since he won the title, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So Dominic Brazil,
Mm-hmm. That's one.
Carlos Takam.
Okay, well, we that result we have still questioned because what was going on. Why did the referee stop the fight when he did? Because Takam wasn't hurt, and punches didn't land on Takam.
Cool. Carlos Takam, Joseph Parker, and Andy Ruiz. That's 4. This is since he's won the title.
Okay. So he lost to Ruiz.
And to be fair, technically, Povetkin was on the 40.
He's 38, 39.
There you go. So he's on the 40. Well, he actually says that he's 40 now.
Yeah.
On BoxRec. So 14 September. However, at the time,
he was 39 when he fought Joshua.
Yeah. So there you go.
So, okay. So he was 39 when he fought Joshua. Klitschko was 40 when he fought Joshua and fought for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
When was Povetkin's last fight before he fought Joshua?
On whose?
Povetkin fought before he fought Joshua. Who did Povetkin fight before he fought Joshua? Oh, David Price, I remember.
Oh, Punch, David Price. For people who do not know, Panchod is Punjabi. Well, it actually means sister fucker, but it's not an expression of using the word fuck. Since I do not like swearing, I try not to swear. If I'm going to swear, I'd rather swear in my other language. So yeah, Panchod David Price did not warm Povetkin up, tell you that. In fact, it was disturbingly memorable as to how he knocked David Price out.
Yeah, it was. It was. Let's say look at this. It says Ben says Klitschko.
Well, I feel that Joshua's resume is far better than Fury's or Wilder's.
Charles Martin.
Sorry, and on top of that, you have to factor in that he has less experience in terms of boxing as a whole, amateur boxing or professional boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So my money would be in Joshua's corner. I still believe that, like I said, with him and Wilder, I feel is the first one to hit.
Would Joshua have beaten Luis Ortiz twice?
Pardon?
Would Joshua have beaten Luis Ortiz twice?
With Joshua what, sorry?
Would Joshua have beaten Luis Ortiz twice?
I don't think he would have fought him twice, no. I think if he did, he would have fought him once and realised, I think Eddie wouldn't have that, I'll tell you that now.
There you go. There you go. Fury wouldn't fight Ortiz twice. Fury wouldn't fight Ortiz twice. He didn't even fight Klitschko twice.
May you repeat that again, please?
What's that?
May you repeat that again, please?
I just said that Fury never fought Ortiz twice and Joshua never fought Ortiz twice.
I'm not sure as to what point you're trying to make here.
I'm saying that Ortiz was considered the best heavyweight or the most dangerous heavyweight in the world at the time.
Oh, he's so dangerous that Wilder fought him twice. That's how dangerous he was.
But Joshua never fought him once. Fury never fought once.
Because of all the other dangerous fighters that Wilder fought. Right?
Nobody else wanted to fight Ortiz.
That's what it is. Clearly Wilder must be the best, isn't he?
I want to hear what Ben's got to say here. Ben says, just to wrap this up, Ben says, let me get this up again very quickly to close because we've got to do another show in a minute. Jonathan says, Wilder fought Fury and twice the most dangerous man in the division, Ortiz, and he fought them on purpose. Okay? Ben says...
I mean, who doesn't fight someone on purpose, man? It's crazy, man. I'm going to start getting annoyed with you.
I didn't say that.
Gorilla.
I didn't say that.
You're reading them out.
Okay, check this out. Klitschko's wins were mostly against unheralded boxers. 2, only a handful of names on their records. Then Ben...
Alright, that's why Klitschko Klitschko's the past. Let's talk about relevant future.
There could be argued that they prevented up and comers even becoming top boxers by demolishing contenders before they had a chance to develop.
I believe that. I most definitely believe that that's what the Klitschko did. To keep their stranglehold on the heavyweight division, I believe that's what they did. I believe that that's what I can foresee Wilder doing that.
Mm-hmm. That's what Klitschko did.
I can fully foresee Wilder doing that. In fact, saying that, Wilder was off the Klitschko fight. Fine.
This Sav one says Ortiz is not dangerous. The resume is even worse than Wilder's. And then John turns back and says, "Well, then why didn't he fight? Why didn't nobody fight Ortiz then?"
Ortiz is a non-speaking, unnecessary threat. He was a threat.
Ben says, "How many miles do they have on the clock? 2. Povetkin and Klitschko, also Takam, who was a gatekeeper. All have been in tough fights," says Ben. Is Ortiz a top 3 heavyweight?
I mean, that's just a stupid question.
I'm not asking the question.
I'm not. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Yeah, Ortiz
to
turned
the one who sent the question. I'm very sure that they may hear it.
Yeah, it's a Sav one. We know what his agenda is. Right, we need to come to the end of this show because we've got Tony Sisse on at 10 o'clock and we're behind schedule. So, Mr. Anti-BS, is there anything else you'd like to say before we end the show?
Yeah, boycott Andy Ruiz Jr. until he becomes a cruiserweight.
And can I get a 2-time?
Yeah, boycott Andy Ruiz Jr. until he becomes a cruiserweight.
That's good. I like that one. And for the king that we should all bow before now.
Pat in the back, well done, mate. Now go fight one of the big boys.
And for Eddie, who says that we doubted and we were doubters, and now he's the king. The king is back.
Just lube yourself up, Eddie. Use lube. That's the only advice I'll give Eddie.
Mr. Anti-BS, thank you so much. John, thank you so much once again for...
Much love, John.
Thank you so much, Ben. Denise.
Much love to your listeners as well.
Denise, of course, as always. Core 2971. Shug, Adam, Tosh Bear, thank you all, plus the other ones that have been watching the show outside. Interesting discussion, says Ben. Thanks, Ingram and Anti-BS. Jonathan says, thanks, Ingram. Awesome discussion.
Appreciate
it. Spartus. Oh, I didn't get to read what he said there. Great show. Right. So we have to end the show and get Tony Sisse back in the room. He's got lots to tell us about the AJ fight. So, interesting. So, Mr. Anti-BS, we shall see you soon.
Much peace and much love.
Much peace and much love. All the best, champ. 1-1. Right, that's the end of that show for now. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we will be with Tony Sisse.